Hello everyone, this is the German Grand Prix after race interviews video. This video is going to include all the interviews that was either dropped or wasn't fully included in Goose's recap video, and in the background will be Goose's recap video itself. I hope you enjoy. So my questions for you today are, from a Sunday League organiser's view, how do you think the race went given the problems that occurred?
Um, I think obviously with the first race, it's never good to have a kind of lag crash race. I mean, we've had it before and we've got rules for it in place and everything. We didn't know exactly what we should do, frankly, when it did crash, but um under obviously we decided to do the sprint under further investigation, we got the exact rules and then we decided to use the results of the sprint, which I think was the right thing to do. But we're having conversations about it still, so yeah, it's it didn't go too badly.
And finally, how did blue flags go compared to last race? Was there an improvement from an organiser's view from Japan?
Yeah, so obviously we had the FIA statement about blue flag zones, how to let people pass and that stuff, and obviously the reminder before the race. I think that worked really well. So I asked Nomscar what he thought about the blue flags. He thought they were much, much better today. I didn't have any problems with them, and I tried to kind of do my part letting people through. But definitely a much, much better step, and hopefully people who are kind of discouraged from racing due to, things like that, such as Gamer, who won't be with us for the rest of the season, unfortunately, can, take note of that and be more, what am I looking for? Want to race more, basically.
Okay, so it was a great race from you, Het. You finished P9. Do you think you can keep up with the remaining three races?
Well, yeah, definitely. I think maybe at the beginning of the season we've had some tracks that don't fit me personally too much as a driver, but I think going into especially like tracks like Spain and Canada, I think are tracks that suit me pretty well and that I can really perform well in. So I hope to replicate performances like this, definitely.
And with that great result, it looks like you're fighting Andreas in the standings. Have you got anything you want to tell your nearest rival?
Well, yeah, especially with having said that battle now ongoing, but especially with tracks that suit me well, I think I should definitely be able to make a strive towards him in points and yeah, hopefully be able to surpass him.
Okay, thank you. So, although the race didn't go to plan for you, you had some incredible quali pace. That's two eighth place starts in a row. Are you hopeful that the pace we saw in quali will lead to good results in the final three races?
I am just like a bit because I'm not that great on warm tires. I've seen consistently that I'm a lot slower in the actual race and on tires, so I don't want to be too hopeful based on quality stats alone. But yeah, I'm hoping for some good results in Malaysia. Doing doing some evening races with Noms and Hemu, and I don't think I'm too slow. So yeah, I'm hopeful for the last three races definitely.
And based off that pace that you had in those few races, who would you say your biggest rival is at the moment?
Well, Andrews is my teammate, and we've had some close. We had a close race in Japan and Hawk, but also Hyper is quite a close rival because we're both relatively new, and it's quite fun to have someone like with a similar experience to me with who I'm racing. So yeah, I'd say those are my two biggest rivals.
Okay, thank you. So, pole position converted into a strong second place, but your lead at the top comes down to 19 points. Do you feel like that was best? Do you feel like that was the best you could have gotten from that race, or was there more to fight for?
Well, I think Novska had a really good pace in this race, so I think in terms of results, second place is really not bad. I think in terms of damage limitation, I think it was the best I could have done. But although I think my performance could have been better, I did a lot of mistakes in the first half, and then in second one I got a bit unlucky. There was at least four guys battling each other right in front of me, and it's really hard to pass them. So I was at least like 3 4 seconds during that time, and that allowed Nomskar to make his last pit stop and still come out in front of me. And I knew from that point that it was just impossible to battle him, and yeah, I have to settle for second, which it wasn't easy because Marin Frias was right behind me, and when she made her last pit, she was like next to me, and so yeah, it was really hard. So I think in the end, it wasn't bad, but it could have been much better. So. And I think in terms of championship, 19 points in 3 races, I think the battle for the title is pretty much on. So yeah, we will see what is going to happen in the end. I hope I can get the title, but yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's Namskar we're talking about, so yeah.
And in relation to the entire race, how do you think the FIA handled the race restart? Do you think procedure was good, or do you think changes should be looked into?
I think given the fact that they already had the rules, I think things could have been more straightforward. And um, And yeah, but these situations are always very tricky because there are certain drivers who were happy with their performance in that first race, but then they are the others that just make a pit stop and lose a lot of positions because of that, and I think that's also not fair. So yeah, I think the best is always to make the that second sprint race, even though I don't really like those races because they don't really represent they don't really represent the practice that drivers have gone through. So, but yeah, I think once again, just like my race performance, it wasn't bad, but could maybe be a bit better, I think. So yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, thank you.